One of the root beliefs you must transcend and altogether eliminate from your perceptual framework is the belief that you are at the effect of circumstances. There's an accepted meme in the collective consciousness that says, circumstances have the power to decide my fate, my destiny, my experience. Inherent in this meme is the assumption that, 1, circumstances only mean what you think they mean, and 2, circumstances have any meaning at all. When you subscribe to this meme and take circumstances to matter, when you create meaning and interpretation inside yourself that makes the apparent circumstance have meaning, that's powerful enough to thwart your desired experience and to make you believe that an appearance even has the power to interfere with your aligned and coherent vision with your desired outcome. You are looking through that filter and meme that assumes circumstances have the power to dictate your reality. You're looking through that filter of perception. This orientation or point of perception puts circumstances in the environment first, and you as consciousness in your point of observation second. The perceived environment becomes primary, and the perceiver or observer, you, becomes secondary. What leads and directs you under this filter then is your perceived outside world, which when under the trance of this filter that circumstances matter, you usually see as something separate from you. In that meme that says circumstances matter is also usually the belief or assumption that the world you're observing and the circumstances showing up are external to you or separate from you. So, breaking it down, when you're subscribing to the master construct that circumstances matter, you are also usually believing some of the following. Firstly, you're believing that circumstances have meaning inherent in themselves and that you are not the meaning maker. What you think you see, what you think things mean under this filter or this sub-belief is coming from the outside, as though the circumstance showing up is talking to you about what it's there to represent in your reality. So that first sub-belief is there that says the meaning is inherent in the circumstance showing up. The second sub-concept or sub-belief under that master construct is that circumstances are external to you. Reality is out there. There is a dissociation and distancing where you perceive a break, a boundary between you and the circumstance being observed. All right, and the third sub-belief or sub-concept under that master construct, circumstances matter, is related to the second one, which is that the circumstance is something that's separate from you, so that not only is it external to you, but it's also disconnected from you. It's something other. Now, there's probably more assumptions entangled in that one master construct of circumstances matter. So you can probably unravel that belief even more to see what else it's made up of, what other sort of presuppositions or sub-concepts are sort of inherent in that master belief that circumstances matter. These are just some of the obvious ones that inform that overarching container, that sort of umbrella filter. And really the point is that this is one of those core assumptions you have to eject from your nervous system completely and permanently. You want to unlock the network of neurons that hold this belief and emotionalize truth as you've again and again proven it to yourself, and have the memories, the emotionalized memories to reference that construct, that prove that that construct is in fact true, and replace it with new knowledge, new experiential learning, new emotional recognitions that what matters is your state of being, what matters is your energy, what matters is your vision. What's primary is consciousness, the perceiver. Pay attention, even as you're listening to this, to a current of thinking that wants to argue that circumstances do matter, that you have tons and tons of experience that prove that circumstances come first, that circumstances have the power to dictate or even control your reality and your experience. That current of thinking and the associated emotions coming up as you're facing the deconstruction of this construct that you may have believed to be completely true and valid up until this point, that current of thinking and the associated emotions are rooted and emerging from that master construct itself that says circumstances matter, circumstances are primary, circumstances control and dictate my reality. And also entertain the notion that there are a good number of people in the world who operate without this construct that says circumstances matter, who have little, very little, or no conscious or subconscious access at all to this construct that circumstances matter, that it's just never become a part of their framework, or they've unlearned it along their psychological development. Really, the thing to take away and the thing to really embed in your day-to-day awareness is that you are not at the effect of circumstances. Although you have, as you've probably experienced, the absolute freedom to create and perpetuate such an experience. To rise above the current conditions of your reality requires that you rise above your present assumptions. You update your core assumptions. You update your master constructs about what the circumstances around you mean and how much power and influence they actually have to dictate what does or doesn't show up for you in the next instant. Take a close look at how you go about defining the contents of your current reality. Is your aligned and coherent vision, your dream, your desired reality, your desired experience, the driver of your states of being? Are you drawing your states of being from your vision? Or are you living in reaction to what is showing up or what you believe is showing up? What is it that informs what you feel right now? Is it your vision? Is it your dream? Is it your desired outcome and the reality of it? Or is it your disempowered interpretation of what the present circumstances of your experience mean? The way that you create this experience of circumstances being important and having the power to dictate reality is through your instantaneous identification to the meaning and interpretation you create upon observing some situation. So some situation arises, and instead of dwelling in this space between observation and interpretation, you automatically jump into your programmed interpretations. Now, if your programmed interpretations are empowering, inspiring, exciting, and energizing, this isn't a big deal. This is working for you. Most often than not, though, where that circumstances matter meme is present, this automatic meaning generation ends up stinging and causing you distress and some level of agitation. So you want to take a look at that. How do you go from observing what you're observing to reacting the way you're reacting? You want to notice the gap that's always there between observation and meaning making. And you can also go back to the interpretations you're creating and create that space. So you can retrospectively jump into and dwell in that space between observation and interpretation, or observation and meaning making. So you can do this forwards and backwards or in real time. Now, the organizing principle of your reality, at least within the framework of conscious creation and deliberate creation and intentional living, is your consciousness. A level of being and awareness that has its root in the interior regions of your psyche. Yet, through conditioned learning and a premise that puts the cause of experience in the apparent exterior, you've unconsciously taken on and adopted the perspective that says circumstances can dictate your experience, that you are at the effect and secondary to what is showing up, that you are neither author or authority, but rather recipient of unknown, unpredictable, and maybe even unreliable fate. And this is a premise that you need to reverse, invert, update, or eliminate as you grow on the deliberate creator track. So take a look at your own orientation and model around this. Do circumstances matter? In what way and why? Have this conversation for yourself. Take the temperature on where you are in relation to this construct, this pretty prevalent construct. Identify for yourself in what way you play out this meme. In which contexts of human experience do you fall back as the observer and find yourself living in reaction to circumstances? In which areas of your waking reality do you find yourself unable to control your level of disempowered reaction or reactivity? And in which areas are you in complete control of your states of being and able to consciously direct and dictate the range of emotions you generate within yourself? Check in and evaluate to see what beliefs, what core assumptions, what core constructs are driving you day in and day out. And work to drop this meme from your framework, from your psyche, from your nervous system. And see just how much more power you access and unleash within yourself.